Hello and welcome to Heart Event. I'm Kay and I'm here with Josh. We are having the ultimate heart event. We have reached max hearts and are now recording a podcast together. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's important in every couple's, timeline to do a podcast together at some point.
That's what I'm hearing. So I just figured we might get it out of the way,
Exactly.
So a couple of weeks ago now, we got to go to PAX East. We actually went last year too, but we were going for a couple specific things last year. So we went for one day and only stayed for about half of the day. And that was fun. I actually ended up demoing and finding one of my favorite games, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, last year. That was my first Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons game. So that was really cool. But this time, you got to be there with me for all of Thursday, and I got to go over the weekend as well. What did you think about PAX this year?
I think this year, getting to stay for the entire day and definitely exploring more of the convention, I thought it was really cool. Normally, I would have probably just looked for stuff that I was more interested in, but this time it was really cool to go around and see everything that the convention had to offer. How did you feel about it?
I liked it this year. I felt like I had a little bit more purpose walking through there last year just because we went for a specific panel and I had a specific game I wanted to demo. So I think that I felt a little bit like, what am I doing here? I'm coming in with no plan. But I actually think that ended up being better because I found so much cool stuff this year, and it kind of made me think I wonder what I missed last year. But I liked both experiences. I just think that being more prepared to go to PAX East and being a little more invested in finding new games as opposed to just kind of having tunnel vision on what I wanted to be there for lent itself to a really good experience. And I had fun getting to stay the whole day on Thursday. That was cool because, like I said, last year we really only stayed half the day. We were not there long.
I would say we were there for maybe 4 hours max.
Yeah, because we went to the panel and then stood in line for Story of Seasons, but that wasn't even that long of a line compared to the other lines and how long they can get at PAX. So I feel like we moved through it pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
So to recap some of the things we did at PAX this year, we went to first thing in the morning, we went to a panel about dogs in video games, which was cute. I thought it was cute. I added some things to my wish list from that panel.
I thought it was really cute. And God, seeing all those dogs in games and the different ways that people utilize them. Sometimes they show up and it's just oh, you pet the dog. But then there was that secret agent game where the dog was ragdolling the people across the map. That was really funny.
Yeah, that was fun. I also really loved hanging out in the PAX Rising section this year. I thought that was really cool. It was, games that I don't think I really would have heard of otherwise. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool to see because there was a lot of other just smaller studios and they were getting a lot of traffic.
Yeah, we got a little bit of merch, which was fun. I got a pin of Rengoku. If anybody watches Demon Slayer, you got a pin too.
Mm-hmm. I got Uzui Tengen, who is my favorite Hashira from Demon Slayer.
I also got a couple of Pokemon plushies, which was fun because I've been getting more into the Pokemon games recently. And I was able to find plushies of both of my faves. So that was cool. There was also a Neopets booth, which I personally was extremely excited about. They had a huge booth and they were selling a bunch of merch, which I was excited about because I feel like they're kind of having a comeback moment right now, and they have redone a bunch of sections on the website and made them functional again, and you can still play Neopets. I still play it sometimes, and I just thought it was super cool to actually be able to see how many people still care about Neopets and were actively there getting merch. I got Neopets merch. So it was really cool because between that and the Switch game that they just came out with, or I don't even think it's just for the Switch, I think they sell it on Steam too, but it's a bundle of all of the games that you used to be able to play when the website still had Flash games, and they put it all into a bundle and made it one big game. And so I just feel like they're cooking a little bit right now.
Yeah, they're definitely cooking. I thought it was really interesting how much Neo stuff or Neopet stuff there was. Neo stuff. how much Neopet stuff there was besides just the like website and like I guess the plushies. Like I feel like I could have expected that they would make plushies, but they've made a lot of games that they sold for consoles. I had no idea about any of that.
Yeah, and it looks like they had a couple different card games you could play there too.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like off to the side, unless I was like completely wrong about what was going on there. But on the top of the booth, they had all of the merch, like the pins and the plushies. And then they had like some shelves off to the side or like underneath the booth that were like some sort of card game. So, yeah. So I like to hear that because so many of the games that I used to play growing up that were online are like just gone and you can't really play them again unless people do like the fan made redone versions, like some of the online worlds and stuff. I know some people have kind of like rebooted them, but it always kind of sucks when the real version isn't around anymore. So I'm just glad that Neopets is still like hanging on, and it actually does still have a pretty good like dedicated fan base. So
Classic. Good bones.
yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to see their comeback. I've always loved Neopets. I think it's like quirky and fun. So, um, oh, and while we were there, I got to go to one of the booths that was selling like retro games, and I got a Bratz Ponies game for the DS, which I was unironically very excited about. I got it for like $7. I love the old Bratz games, and I love buying those simple, cute, fun games for the DS and using them kind of like when I'm in a gaming slump but still want to be playing something, or I just have like no mental energy at all. It's really fun to revisit those kind of, I guess, kids games. So I was really happy to add that one to my collection. I wasn't even sure I was going to get it. I saw it on Thursday when I was with you, and then I was like, no, I'm like, I don't need this. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it. So Friday I came back and like beeline for that booth and dug it out of there and bought it. And the person working was like, we're selling a lot of pony games lately. And I was like, well, then I guess it's good I got to this one before anyone saw it.
Yes, the people are apparently loving ponies.
Pony games are fun. I always liked horse games like that, even though I'm not like I've never like ridden a horse or anything in real life, but.
Well, I have, and it's nothing like the games.
I believe it. I believe it. So the Daylight Basement Studio booth was really fun for me. Many people know I'm a huge fan of the game Rightfully Barry Arms. So I snagged a standee and a poster from them, got some merch, and I hung that poster up like immediately when we got home. We're sitting in front of it now, so I was really excited about that. Which brings me to what I mainly wanted to talk about in this episode, which is all of the amazing games that I saw at PAX this year. So like I just said, this game wasn't new to me, but I did stop over at the Daylight Basement Studio booth, and it was really great talking to the Rightfully Barry Arms devs. They're super nice, and it was really fun to bring some friends over there and have them play the demo and share a game I love with people I love. It was really fun to ask them a bunch of questions about the game too, just little questions I had or was curious about that I don't think I would have gotten an answer to another way. So that was really fun to like spend some time over there. Especially since I'm a huge fan of that game. I was really excited that they were going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I, through you, have learned so much about the game, what they've done for it, the lore behind it, and all of that. And I learned stuff going to the booth with you. So it was a good experience for, I think, everybody involved.
So now I'm going to touch on the stuff that I saw that was new to me and some things I'm really excited about. Starting with a game that caught my eye immediately over at the Serenity Forge booth called Needy Streamer Overload.
Oh, that one?
Okay. Yes. Let me pull up the Steam page for it. So the Steam page description says, Needy Streamer Overload is a multi-ending adventure game depicting daily life with OMG Kawaii Angel, a young girl with a rather extreme need for approval attempting to become the #1 internet angel. Gradually build up OMG Kawaii Angel's number of followers as she spends her days streaming, using various stress relievers, and generally being kinda messed up. Experience all the different crazy ups and downs, and find out for yourself whether this story is even capable of having a happy ending. It immediately caught my eye because I could see someone playing the demo as we walked by, and the kind of old school Windows looking interface and all the pink vibes were right up my alley. So I was like, okay, I have to see what this is. I didn't actually know what it was called, but I told you because we were on our way to do something else. Like we had an objective or something when I first saw it.
Yes, there was no time for this side quest.
Yeah, so I kept it in the back of my mind, and then I was like, we need to go back and find whatever that was because I can already tell I'm gonna like it. And then when we found it, I realized it was next to a huge Doki Doki sign, which I've never played, but it's been on my wish list and in the back of my mind for a long time. So I kind of already felt as I was sitting down to play the demo that I was really gonna like it, and I did. So I actually just picked this up on a Steam sale earlier today for just about $5. And it is on sale until April 18th. So by the time this episode comes out, it will still be on sale for a couple more days. So if it sounds interesting to you, or if you like Doki Doki and kind of that cute horror vibe, I definitely recommend looking it up. And I can't wait to see it and see how I like the full game. I really think that I'm really going to like this one. So
Yeah, like you're saying, I think it's right up your alley. It's the aesthetic of the game was very like old school, like Windows, but like it had the flashy pink stuff and like the very cute sort of aesthetic to it. So yeah, it's like that's all stuff that you like.
yeah, I'm excited. I had never heard of that one. Somehow, all of the other games that were over at the Serenity Forge area, I had at least heard of, if not already had in the back of my mind that I wanted to play, but I had never heard of this one. So I was super excited to get to add it to my wish list. And now I've added it to my library, so I can't wait to have a second to play that eventually. Another one that caught my attention because of the aesthetics of it was a game called Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion. And I saw this one when you actually weren't with me. I think I saw that like Friday or Saturday.
I was gonna say I would definitely remember that name.
Yeah, I was drawn to it because the logo reminds me of Groovy Girls dolls. Might be a little bit of a deep cut, but if anyone remembers those cute dolls with like the yarn hair from the 2000s, and they had a website that was like a virtual world. Again, obviously I was obsessed with those back in the day. I feel like every brand had their own like virtual world. So you could like add friends and like go visit their rooms and stuff and decorate your room or your whole house. I can't remember. And you were just one of those like goofy, lanky dolls with the yarn hair, but like virtual version. And you got to dress her up and customize her. So
Yeah. No, everything in the 2000s had that.
yeah, I missed that. I wish they still did. But anyway, the logo for Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion looks a lot like that kind of groovy girls dolls vibe. And then when I actually saw the gameplay and art style, I knew I wanted to actually play it as well. So the description for this one is an absurdist first-person shooter / interactive fiction game where you murder stupid robots, chat with idiot people, and explore a painstakingly hand-drawn and highly animated world. Tags for this one are action, adventure, interactive fiction, story-rich, and shooter. So I feel like I have been trying to get into shooters recently because the fact that I've been playing RBA so much has gotten me used to those kind of controls and thinking quickly and opened me more up to the idea of playing games like shooters or like action games where I'm normally more of like a visual novel, dating sim, life sim girl. And I've been kind of lightly dipping my toe into trying out Don't Stop Girly Pop.
Oh, the theme song somebody stuck in my head.
So yeah, that one does have a good theme song. So I can't wait to have time to play this one too. I think it looks really fun. I like how it's a little silly and not taking itself too seriously. Like I feel like shooters can be a little intense and serious in a way that I don't find fun. So I like that games like Don't Stop Girly Pop and Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion are finding ways to make them a little more fun and interesting for an audience like me who might not want to take it so seriously or don't really feel competitive about it, because also I think that something that was stopping me from playing a lot of shooters were that they are online or competitive, and I don't really want that. So I like that both Don't Stop Girly Pop and Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion have kind of like a story, and you get to play the shooter game without having to be like super sweaty about it.
Yeah. I myself am a big fan of like story-driven shooters, so I think that you'll have a lot of fun with those because yes, like it can be difficult and it can be hard, but like you get a story out of it.
Yeah, and I think it came at like the perfect time where I'm more open to playing stuff like that, and then all of a sudden I find out Don't Stop Girly Pop just came out, and then I go to PAX and see Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion, so I'm really glad that I found out about both of those at a time where I'd be willing to play them. And I didn't even know that like narrative shooter was a thing. So it's pretty cool. Oh, and this one actually is also on sale for about $5, and that one's on sale until April 20th. So if you wanted to look that one up and you thought it looked interesting, that one will still be on sale at the time of this episode releasing as well. So I walked by this next one like a million times because they had a huge section where people were lined up to try to beat each other in multiplayer mode to like win some sort of prize. I just thought that the characters looked really cute. They kind of reminded me of the characters in Grand Bazaar, which is what caught my eye at first. But then I realized that it wasn't anything like that, and it was actually an RPG. It says that it's an action RPG. So this one's called Etrange Overlord. The description says, join Etrange on this musical odyssey as she seeks to conquer hell in the pursuit of living her best afterlife. And it just looked super interesting. It looked like there was a lot going on. I didn't really fully understand the gameplay because I was kind of just watching from afar as people were trying to beat each other in multiplayer mode. But from what I saw, it definitely looked like something that I'd be interested in. It looks like what I've been kind of getting more into lately. So I definitely want to try it. It is like a full price, like $50 game. It's by NIS. It looks cool. It just came out at the end of last month. It came out. It looks like it came out the first day of PAX. I haven't heard much about it, but I definitely want to try that one out at some point. Okay, so next one, Rain 98.
I don't remember if I saw that one with you.
You did not. That is one that I saw alone.
Oh, but that's why I remember you had the poster.
Yes. So they had like a big standee on the floor, and I didn't actually see anybody playing it because they were playing it on like Steam Decks or something that looked like a Steam Deck. So it wasn't like the other demos where it was on a computer so I could like peer over their shoulder. But the standee caught my attention, so I walked over and I was just looking for like a flyer or whatever I could take home. But the person working there saw that I was wearing a Nana shirt, the manga/anime Nana, and they were like, oh, do you like the movie Perfect Blue? And I was like, I love that movie. It's like up there as like one of my favorites. And they were like, oh, the developer of this was actually inspired by Perfect Blue. So then I knew for sure, like, oh, I'm going to be interested in this. The description says, Tokyo, 1998, a rain that never ends and a girl who wants everything to end. Two lonely youths will change the world with their choices. It's a lo-fi psycho thriller romance adventure set in 90s Tokyo. So I was super drawn to the art style and the blue color palette, and yeah, it like shot to the top of my list of games to keep an eye out for because this was my first time hearing about it, but I'm really interested to see what sort of story will unfold there, and it looks like super beautiful, so I think it'll be awesome when it actually does come out. It says that it's set to release sometime this year, so I took the flyer and immediately when I got home, looked it up and wishlisted it, so I'm ready.
I think having seen some of the media for this, it's like super stylized. I really like the art direction for it. It seems like it's probably like a very cool game. What do you have next?
There were a few upcoming games that I ended up being really excited for. So PAX definitely gave me a lot to keep my eye on and look forward to. Obviously, as a farming sim lover, I'm very excited for Grave Seasons. That's the farming sim where someone in town is a murderer and you're trying to solve the mystery while also romancing the townsfolk. And you can accidentally romance the murderer. That one is set to come out August 14th of this year, and I'm really excited for it. I was kind of watching over people's shoulder for that one as they played the demo because it was on like a big enough screen that I could see it, and I feel like everyone is excited for this game, so the line was super long, but from what I could see, I love the art style, and a lot of farming sims are very samey, which I've said to you before, I actually don't mind. A lot of people say that farming sims do the same thing or they're just like the same game reskinned or whatever, but I actually like that because I like knowing that I'll know what to do, I'll know the controls, I'll know the mechanics, and I can go in there and kind of play the same game but different font. But I actually am excited that this one has kind of a twist, and I'm excited to see that like mystery element of it play out. And also it has a lot of replayability because apparently it's like a different person in the town every time.
Ah, okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I really like that idea. I like that they brought something different to the table, but it's still a farming sim, so I think a lot of people have grown very fond of like farming sims recently, especially with like the big cozy game movement happening in recent years. So August 14th is great. I feel like that's like a perfect time frame. I feel like a lot of things are coming out kind of like around right now and within the next month, and then I feel like it'll kind of settle down, and then this huge game that everybody's excited for will come out. So
Right in time for like fall too, and I feel like, oh, it's a murdery thing. Ooh.
yeah, yeah, you could either play it right when it comes out, or like if you hold off just a little bit, it'll like start to cool down a little bit, and it'll be like getting you in that fall spirit, spooky season.
Yeah, like, just dive right in.
Good call. And then speaking of game genres that are my favorite, I saw tucked in the corner over there, there was High Times, which says manage your own donut cafe in high times and help customers escape from their problems by serving special donuts that affect their emotions. Sometimes they don't know what they want, so listen to their stories, offer them advice in the form of donuts, and mend broken relationships. So this is like a visual novel, dating sim, cooking game, but I think it's supposed to be like you're basically in a dispensary making like special donuts. But I thought it looked really cute. I think that'll appeal to like a lot of people too. I think that it'll be like a kind of a cute vibe.
Yeah, the game looks really cute. It's got a lot of like very bright colors. Watching the trailer for it, a little bit of a sense of humor, a little bit of tongue in cheek, sort of like funny haha to it, and I think that this will just go over really well with a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because this is another example of like classic genre that I'm used to, but adding like their own little something. Like, how I really like that game Best Friend Forever because it's not just the visual novel part, it also has the mini games of taking care of the dog and leveling the dog up.
Yes.
So I really like that this one has kind of that element, but instead of taking care of the dog, it's like decorating and making the donuts.
Yeah. And that part, seeing that in the trailer, reminded me of that mobile game that you were playing, Good Pizza, Great Pizza.
Oh, I love Good Pizza, Great Pizza.
Right. So it sounds like you're going to have to listen to, or it looks like I should say, you're going to have to listen to what they're saying, that their problems are, and then be like, oh, you need this kind of donut.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited because I haven't had a new, like, fresh dating sim that I haven't heard of before to, like, get into or look forward to. So I'm really excited about this one. And I almost missed it, but I was in line for another game, and that person that was in line with me ended up telling me, like, or we got into a conversation of cool games we had seen, and they ended up telling me, like, oh, it sounds like you would like this one over there, High Times. And I was like, you're 100% right, and I need to go seek it out right now. So that was cool. There was also Cat Secretary, which I don't have too much to say about, but I just thought it looked super cute. I'll read the description.
Keep your job by day. At night, sneak around the office and solve your colleagues' problems. Who's a good cat secretary? You are.
Very good. Thanks for taking over there for me. Josh had to step in and read that one because I couldn't do it for some reason.
Wait, I'm sorry. This trailer is amazing.
Yeah, it looks cute, right?
Yes, you're getting ridden around. There's a mouse on your back.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I didn't even see that.
The mouse and the
This game's really tripping us up.
well, no, the mouse is named Benjamin Gouda.
Oh, it's a mouse, like for a computer. I understand. What?
No, it's not. Oh my God. Roll the trailer again. We got to see Benjamin Gouda. He's like the senior vice president.
Then what was I just looking at?
Not Benjamin Gouda.
Clearly.
Put some respect on his name.
Where is the mouse?
Well, if you look at this, he's right there.
Oh, he looks intimidating.
He is intimidating. It's Benjamin Gouda.
But it looks like you're like trying to fight against AI or something too. Did you see that part come up?
I was too busy looking at the mouse.
This cat means business.
Yeah.
Cat Secretary is the story. Oh my God, you're right. Cat Secretary is the story of a cat who becomes a warning, spoilers ahead, secretary. It says you're basically trying to fight, like, you're the evil corporation that's using AI and trying to become like a huge conglomerate or something. And also, it looks like you can get up to some cat shenanigans, like knocking stuff over, like very Little Kitty Big City-esque, where it has a lot of those cat mechanics. There's Benjamin.
Benjamin Gouda.
So I'm really excited for this one. Like, I just feel like my experience with specifically finding games that I don't think I would have heard about, just because I listen to super specific, like, creators, podcasts, like people on YouTube, they talk about a very specific type of game, I feel like, and some of these I feel like they would have left out of their
lists.
Their lists, yeah. So, like, sometimes I just don't hear about games like this, and then I end up hearing about them eventually, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where have you been my whole life? So I'm really excited that I, like, ended up keeping my eyes peeled and seeing these booths. So
Yeah. And I mean, the tags for this: exploration, puzzle, 3D, cute, story rich, casual. There's no tag for Benjamin Gouda, which is a mistake, but
they don't know how many customers they're losing by not letting them know Benjamin Gouda is the star of the show.
Ben Gouda.
Ben G.
If you're friends with him, you can call him Ben Gouda.
If you're cool like that. So that's Cat Secretary.
I want to play that one.
We can both play it. We can discuss it on the show.
I wonder if you can play as Benjamin Gouda.
No, I don't think so. I think you have to be the Cat Secretary.
I don't want to play it anymore.
And then there were a couple of groups at PAX that were actually college students showing the games they made for their classes. I think those were my favorite things to see because that was so cool. And it was just really cool that they were like students venturing out into this for the first time and making their first games and bringing them into PAX and having people actually see them. Like, I felt like they were really enthusiastic about actually having an audience to sit down and play the games. And I just felt like it was like special getting to see, because as I've been saying this whole time, but it's especially the case for these games, there's no way I would have found out about that. Like, I don't know these college students, and they don't have like Steam pages yet, and they don't have like marketing teams behind them or anything. So there was no way for me to find out about these games unless I went down to PAX like I did and saw their booths.
Right. And I mean, two things. I imagine that if you're making a game, like the number one thing is you want people to play it. And what was the second thing I wanted to say is, what is the game that you saw that you were kind of excited about?
So that was Got a Gloss.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not kind of excited about it. Like, I am, like, I have been watching their socials like a hawk since PAX. Like, I am on the edge of my seat waiting for that game to come out. I'm so excited about it. It is like the most me game I saw at PAX. I'm like, I like, I saw their table and I ran up to them and immediately was like, what is this? And as soon as they told me, I looked at the devs and I was like, I need this game. Like, please tell me you'll be releasing this. They said that it would be coming out, I think, sometime this spring. So I followed all of their socials. They have a Tumblr and an Instagram. If you go to their Instagram, it's @GotAGlossGame, and they have a link to their Tumblr on there as well.
Very cool.
They've been showing their development progress, and just to describe the game a little bit, it's a visual novel where you're trying to take over a fashion magazine for your boss that got in an accident and can't be there to take care of the magazine. So you kind of have to step into her role and run things. And it also has a second game mechanic where you have to actually design the fashion magazine covers. I said at the beginning of the episode, I was a big Bratz game person.
Right.
Always have been, always will be. Mm-hmm. So this was like, hello, like a visual novel, already one of my favorite things to play. Check. And then it has that like pink, purple, like My Scene vibe to it. Mm-hmm. And then you get to decorate the fashion magazine covers. And there's kind of like a checklist of things that need to be on the cover. And then the rest of it you have creative freedom with.
Right, sounds super interesting.
So I'm super excited for that one. I'm like trying to get the word out there about that one because they said that they were going to try to put it up on Steam like sometime this spring, which I would imagine is because they'll probably be graduating and done with the class and done with the game.
You know, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, or I don't know if they'll be graduating, but they'll be done probably with the semester and with, you know, finishing the game. And then they'll be getting it out there. So yeah, like I said, it's @GotAGlossGame on Instagram. It looked super cool. I think that was my favorite find at PAX because I just...
Really? That's number
Oh,
one?
100%, because I said I think it's my favorite, but I'm 100% on that because it was just so perfectly all the things I like in a game, and I just felt so grateful that I just happened to stumble upon it by wandering around that section of the floor. And who knows if I ever would have found out about it if I hadn't. So that was like the biggest win, the biggest takeaway for me from PAX. And then the other game I wanted to mention that fell into that category of college students bringing their games to PAX was Penny's Pastry Pursuit, that raccoon game that you saw and pointed out to me. So you saw it and told me about it, and then when I went back on my own, I ended up playing it, and it's super cute. You play as Penny, a raccoon whose, I think, parents run a bakery, and you have to run out into the world and explore and like rummage through the trash and try to interact with everything to find the specific ingredients that you need to bring back and make the correct menu item for the bakery. And it was just super charming. They don't have socials for it or a Steam page up yet, but they said that they were working on getting it up. So I've been keeping an eye on it. I've been checking Steam periodically to see if the page was up yet. So as soon as it is, maybe I'll be able to like update, throw that at the beginning of an episode or something that it's out, because I think, I don't know, it just looked so fun. It was really charming. So, and the students that made it were super nice when I was over there playing it. So
Hey, if there's a raccoon, I'll check it out.
exactly. And then I just wanted to throw in this honorable mention. The game Fishbowl was there. Jenny Wyndham from Wholesome Games was there talking about it with people. She was kind of there like working the Fishbowl demo area because Wholesome Games Presents published Fishbowl, I believe. But I didn't touch on that too much in this episode because I feel like everybody knows Fishbowl. If you don't, it's I believe a life sim with a narrative that you're working through to try and overcome grief and what day-to-day life looks like while navigating grief. And I just feel like I didn't have that much to say about it because I feel like everybody in this space knows about Fishbowl, was excited about Fishbowl, and it was really cool that Jenny Wyndham was there to talk to people about it. And it is out now already, and I've seen great things about it, so definitely that's on my wish list to play at some point when I have time in between other games. But I didn't actually play that demo because I knew that I was going to play the real game, the full game eventually. And
save it for you.
Yeah, and people were so excited about it that somebody was always over there already talking to Jenny about it and stuff. So I kind of was just like, you know what, I'll catch that on my own when I have a chance. But that one was really highly anticipated and people were really looking forward to it. So I thought it was really cool that it was at PAX and then came out basically right after, I believe. So yeah, that's everything regarding what I saw at PAX. I had a really good time this year.
I had a really good time too.
I think that definitely next year, if I, have the chance to go to PAX again, I think that I'm going to keep that in mind and almost make more of an effort to go kind of straight to the section with the smaller games because I just feel like it was great going last year and beelining for Grand Bazaar, but it's kind of like you're not going to forget that Story of Seasons game exists or any of those like bigger names that you are definitely going to hear about outside of PAX. So I think that something I didn't realize going into it last year was how special it could be if you really dove into those smaller booths. So yeah, I think that's definitely something to keep in mind for next year. I think that if I go in without a plan again next year, I'm just going to walk right over to the PAX Rising section and the areas that have the smaller devs and the students because I think that made it like so much more special for me finding those games.
No, for sure.
Oh, we saw the Nintendo area because Pokopia was there and everything. They had a bunch of like little demo stations set up where you could try Pokopia and I think something Mario. Was it Mario?
I don't know about Mario. They had I believe it was Pokemon Challengers is the new game that's coming out.
It already came out, yeah.
Okay, well it's out.
Champions.
Yeah. Pokemon Champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me, not knowing anything about it, just seeing it from afar, I was like, oh, this is like a new version of Pokemon Stadium. I have no idea if that's what it is. I've done little to no research, and that's what I'm going with.
And then they had something else there too, though.
Honestly, the only other thing that I remember over there is the giant tubes that you could pop out of.
Oh yeah, well that was Mario.
That was Mario.
So I think that they had that there because they did have something Mario there. But if you can't tell, we didn't spend a whole bunch of time over in the Nintendo section. We just took a picture with the Pokopia standees and. Then we got out of there, but oh, and I almost forgot to mention one that I saw over by the student area, and I don't actually know if this was no, I think it was. I think they told me the actual developer of this game was not there at the exact moment that I had walked up to the booth, but I think that the people at the booth ended up telling me that it was a student project, and I had seen the poster up, but it didn't have the name of the game or anything, so I had to like get their attention and be like, you have to tell me what that poster is from, because if it's a game, I'm playing it. It was a poster of a girl with Gyaru makeup on, and she was like holding out a flip phone and like taking a selfie with like a peace sign up, and it just like looked really cute, and it was like pink, like I've said a million times. All the things with pink posters were drawing my attention at PAX. And they said that it was a game that I believe was a student project. They said that it was called DigiDiva, and that they were working, or the developer was working on getting that up on Steam as well. But I did look before we started recording this episode, and you can get the, I guess, demo version, or I don't know if it's, because it did say version 1.0.1 or something like that. So I don't know if the disclaimer that it was a demo was old or what, but you can get it on itch.io is my point. So I'm definitely going to be downloading that and seeing what the deal is with that. And if it's not the full game, I will be following along with that to try and see if I can play the full game, because it looked super cute. Let me see if I can pull it up for you, and I know the people listening won't be able to see it, but you will. It's a girly pop and absurdist comedy multitasking game about social media and internet culture, where you play as a chronically online influencer, grow your fan base, defend your image, and collaborate with other rising stars. Do you have what it takes to take the spotlight? So yeah, doesn't it look cute?
It does look cute. The art style's fun.
Yeah, it's like kind of the same vibe as Needy Streamer, where it has that management element where you're trying to take care of your social media presence. And I don't know, it's the same thing. It's like pink, purple, social media management game, and the fashion of the girl on the poster mixed with the like flip phone and the colors. I was immediately drawn to it. It was like this tiny little poster over there, and I just had to know.
It looks like it's right up your alley.
Yeah, and it does say this game, this is a demo including 2 levels created in 7 weeks as our senior capstone project. But it says that it was updated 19 days ago, so it looks like they're still very much like keeping up with this game. And yeah, they did tell me that the developer was looking to make a Steam page for it, so I'm assuming same thing, probably this spring once everything's all done and wrapped, they'll probably put it on Steam, so I'm really looking forward to that.
So cool that you just made that as a senior project.
Yeah, that's got to be so cool. It's got to be so scary to be going to school for that, like knowing how hard it is in the industry right now. But I hope that going to PAX with their games and seeing that even with no big publisher or anything behind them, just being students that come in with their school projects, you know, there are people like me, and I'm sure other people came up and had the same feeling where, you know, they see the things that these students have done and they're super excited about it. So I hope that, you know, I think it's really cool that they got booths at PAX and got to present their games, and I hope that it gave them some hope, because we need people who still care about games to be going into that industry.
For sure.
So even when it looks bleak, we need those people with passion out there. Any final thoughts that you'd like to wrap up with about PAX?
It's a great time. I feel like if you have the opportunity to go to PAX East, PAX West, you know, you should go, and you'll have a good time, and, you know, probably discover something that you never would have heard of before that. I just think that it's like really fun, and shout out to the bao buns that we got there. Those were delicious.
Oh, those were so good. Yeah, they were like $20, but they were so good.
$20 sized.
It was like 5 bites for $20, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Would you go again next year?
I would go again. I mean, this year compared to last year is all I have to go on, and I would definitely do it a third time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Like I said, I think I would go in there with a little bit of a different mindset, whereas last year it was more like, we got to see the big stuff, and this year I was kind of like, what are we going to see? And now, next year, I think I'm going to go in there being like, we have to go find the little guys so that I know what's happening out there that I'm not going to hear about otherwise. But
Yeah.
that makes me even more excited, though, because it's kind of like, who knows what we'll find next year, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
As you should.
All right, well, I think that's a wrap on our first episode.
That was fun.
That was fun. We'll see how it translates into trying to edit it and everything. I hope that I can do it.
You can do it. You can absolutely do it.
Okay, well, you can find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Heart Event Podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitch at Moondust Cappuccino. I stream on Wednesdays sometimes. So check that out if you want to see me there. And other than that, I think that's all we got. Thank you for joining us for our first episode, and we'll catch you at the next cutscene.
Don't stop. Don't always stop.
That's my girly pop.